Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Ranking the Albums. Today, this episode, we're going to look at the studio albums of the great American Southern rock legends, the Allman Brothers Band. All right, we're going to do a separate episode for their live albums. Today, we're just going to focus on their studio albums. Some really strong ones, a couple not so strong, but I think a band that's got a very rich musical legacy. Some great songs, great albums. A lot of great musicians have passed through the Allman Brothers Band over the years. Of course, right now they're basically in retirement after the death of Greg Allman a couple of years ago, but got a lot of stuff that we can enjoy for the remainder of all of our lives on this earth, right? A lot of great music, a lot of great records. So you know how it goes. I'm going to rank these as I like them, all right? This is not the definitive best of the Allman Brothers Band studio albums. This is just my favorites. You guys feel free to post them in the order that you like them. Your top 5 albums, your top 10. You want to do the whole catalog, that's fine. Do that too. So I'm going to go with my least favorites all the way to my absolute favorite album, okay? So here we go. So coming in last for me, and I don't have the actual album. In fact, these next two, or these first two, I should say, I have kind of like a compilation that's got the majority of the tracks from each album. Talking about 1981's Brothers of the Road. This is the Hell or High Water collection, okay, which has the kind of the best of Reach for the Sky from 80 and Brothers of the Road from 81. This is kind of, with the latter, before the Allmans split up for a number of years, the latter lineup, J-Mo is not on here. You got various different guitar players and stuff like that, with Greg and, of course, with Dickie Betts and company. So, these two albums are hit or miss. I'm going to go with Brothers of the Road from 81 as my least favorite, and Reach for the Sky just slightly better than that. There's some good tracks on here, but for the most part, it's kind of poppy. Both of them actually, Hell or High Water is a pretty good song. I Got a Right to Be Wrong. It's pretty catchy. Brothers of the Road is actually a really good song. I dig that. Straight from the Heart. Okay, that was their kind of little hit there. The Judgment. This collection takes kind of the best stuff from those albums. None of it is by any means top shelf Allman Brothers, but it's if you're a fan of the band, gotta have it, right? So, all right, coming in next, I'm going to go with Enlightened Rogues from 1979. Much stronger than either of those two, I think. You got the kind of hit Crazy Love, right? Can't Take It With You is a good song. Pegasus is a great instrumental. The band, other than those last two, band always put some red hot instrumentals on their album. Pegasus is one of them here. Need Your Love So Bad, Sail Away, Just Ain't Easy. A middling album for them, but still some strong material. Okay. Coming in next, I'm going to go with Win, Lose, or Draw from 1975. This was be the last album they would make for a few years, for 4 years, studio album. Can't Lose What You Never Had. Good song. High Falls, probably the highlight of the album. That's the 14-plus minute instrumental. That's really good. Here you got Dickie Betts really becoming and he started this with the album prior, but really becoming the guitar hero that he always was. Of course, overshadowed by Duane Allman early on. What else? Louisiana Lou and the 3-Card Monty John. Just Another Love Song, Nevertheless. Title track, Win, Lose, or Draw. Decent album. Decent album. Not one of my favorites, obviously, but decent album. All right, so those for me are the average to not very good Allman Brothers Band albums. I think basically everything else in the catalog is excellent, okay? And I'm going to start next with one that I love a lot, and I'm talking about the kind of the 90s period here, Where It All Begins, okay? This, of course, you got Warren Haynes on board here. This is from 1994. You got Butch Trucks, J-Mo. You got Greg, okay. You got Alan Woody, Warren Haynes, the whole crew. Of course, Dickie. I mean, this is a really good album. I listened to this a lot. I saw them on this tour. All Night Train, great song. Sailing Across the Devil's Sea. What else? You got the incomparable Soul Shine on here, great Warren Haynes tune. Back Where It All Begins, the great title track. Change My Way of Living. No One to Run With. Me and Woman Blues. What's Done is Done. Great songs on here. Very strong album, I think. All right, next up is going to be the last studio album that they would do. All right, which is called Hitting the Note. 2003. I like this a lot. So Dickie by this time is gone, right? So you've got Derek Trucks, okay, nephew of Butch Trucks on co-lead guitar and slide guitar supreme. Firing Line, High Cost of Low Living, Desdemona, fantastic. Woman Across the River, Old Before My Time, Rockin' Horse, Heart of Stone, Instrumental Illness. A fantastic album. If you're like an old school Allman Brothers Band fan and you just really didn't listen to a lot of the newer stuff, man, this is like a throwback to those first couple albums. Really good. Dig it a lot. Next up, going to go with Seven Turns. All right. So, the 90s kicked off and band is back. 1990, as a matter of fact, with this stellar album. Saw them on this tour as well. I just thought this was like one of the best comeback albums of all time, I think, for a band that was kind of left for dead, right? They kind of they put out the big box set, a year and a half before they released this, and decided, let's give a go with it. Of course, you got a young Warren Haynes saddling up next to Dickie Betts. Okay, you got Chuck Leavell here. I got Good Clean Fun, and Greg sounds great on this album. Good Clean Fun, Low Down Dirty Mean, Loaded Dice, Seven Turns, should have been a massive hit for them. Gambler's Roll, True Gravity, It Ain't Over Yet. Some great songs on here. Let Me Ride. Just a fantastic, fantastic return for the band. As is the next one they did, 1991, Shades of Two Worlds. Again, these two are fantastic. This might be my favorite out of the four that they did, but you can't go wrong with any of them, in my opinion. They're all top shelf Allmans. End of the Line, Bad Rain. God, so many great songs on here. The entire Desert Blues, Get On With Your Life, Baby. The whole album is fantastic. And I love how they really tried to capture the spirit of the early stuff. So it's got that kind of the sizzling southern blues rock mixed with jazz and just enough psychedelia. I mean, I tell you, the Allmans were just firing all cylinders right around that time. All right, coming in, and now we go to the really early stuff. Coming in at number 4, I'm going to go with Eat a Peach. Probably would rank a little higher for some folks, and that's fine. It's kind of basically half studio, half live, because of course, we lost Dwayne Allman and Barry Oakley during this time period here. So what they did was they were lacking some studio stuff, so they pulled some extra recordings from the Fillmore, okay, which they recorded for Live at the Fillmore East, obviously. And I still think it works great, Ain't Wasting Time No More, killer. You go Liz Brer's in A minor, awesome. All right. You got the incomparable Melissa. All right. You got Little Martha. You got the amazing Blue Sky, which would be a trademark song for them so long. Of course, you got to have the 30-plus minute Mountain Jam. You got One Way Out of Trouble No More from the Fillmore. Just great stuff, obviously. And that album would signal, a lot of changes for the band. But I think that they're kind of comeback from that. And I shouldn't say comeback, but the band didn't kind of just go away and just die. They came back with a fantastic album after that, which of course is Brothers and Sisters. Okay, here you got, like I said, Dickie basically taking up the mantle here. You got a little help from Les Dudek along the way, but I think that the band needed someone to step it up, because obviously Greg was, he's kind of in shambles, the loss of his brother, the loss of Barry. All right, here you got, Wasted Words, got Ramblin' Man, Come and Go Blues, Jelly Jelly, the incomparable Southbound, great track, The Amazing Jessica. Doesn't need to be said how fantastic that is, and Pony Boy. Dedicated to a brother, Barry Oakley, right? Because left us way too soon along with Dwayne. All right, the top two, never any question here. I'm going to go with Idlewild South, 1970, their second album. It's got the amazing In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, my favorite Allman Brothers song of all time. You got Hoochie Coochie Man, you got Revival, Don't Keep Me Wondering, you got Midnight Rider, Another unforgettable song from the band. Please Call Home, Leave My Blues at Home. Fantastic album, which they would kind of follow that up with the Fillmore East live album, which of course would, make them superstars. Number one for me has got to be the debut, self-titled debut, man. This is just one of the great debuts of all time. Of course, it's got Whipping Post and Dreams, right? Don't Want You No More, It's Not My Cross to Bear, Black-Hearted Woman, Trouble No More, Every Hungry Woman. I mean, just top to bottom, just fantastic songs. Sizzling, blues rock from the South, right? Maybe the first Southern rock album of all time. Who knows? But they were always a little, even though and most people say that they defined what later became Southern rock, Allman Brothers are always about a lot more than that. They were more about, the blues and jazz, I think. They could jam. Boy, could they jam, right? Legendary jamming on a lot of those live concerts and live albums. So there you have it. That's my ranking of the Allman Brothers Band studio discography. Like I mentioned, I will do the live albums either later today or tomorrow. We'll see when we get to it. But let's recap my list. Coming in at number 1, the Allman Brothers Band. Coming in at number 2, I'm going to go with Idlewild South. Coming in at number 3, Brothers and Sisters. Coming in at number 4, Eat a Peach. Coming in at number 5, Shades of Two Worlds. Coming in at number 6, Seven Turns. Coming in at number 7, Hitting the Note. Coming in at number 8, Where It All Begins. Coming in at number 9, Win, Lose, or Draw. Coming in at number 10, Enlightened Rogues. Coming in at number 11, we're going to go Reach for the Sky. And number 12, Brothers of the Road. Both of them basically on there. So there you go. It's amazing. Not a lot of studio albums. Because they released so many live albums, I think most people tend to think that they had a million albums, which they kind of did. Just not a million studio albums, right? So rank them as you like them, okay, in the comments below. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer here, so everybody hears and knows and loves these albums differently in different orders and what have you. So curious to see what you guys think. Also, this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. So like I said, we'll see you for a ranking the live albums of the Allmans. There's so many of them. I obviously don't have them all, but I have a whole bunch of them, and I'm just going to rank the ones that I have. I just thought, got the gold top behind me, right? For those of you who are a fan of Dickie Betts, he long played a gold top. Great tones from that guitar, I'm telling you. Good stuff. Anyway, guys, hope everybody's well, and we'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.